Alrighty.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Sorry for the little delay. Just want to come on. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Becky? What's up, Britt? What's up, your boy JDQ? Thank you for coming in this morning. Creed Spotlight. Thank you, brother, for your kind words. Becca, who else is in here? Just shout everybody out while I can. You guys can like the stream, share, and subscribe so we can get more people in here. Good morning, Lori. How you doing today? I got a very special guest this morning. One of my good friends. She's going to be coming on here and
All
telling a
right. Can you
story.
hear me? You can hear me fine, right?
I can hear you just fine. Good morning, Marissa. How you doing today?
All right. How am I? Mike, how do I see the chat? Oh, I see it.
You can go, just go to live chat and you should be able to see the comments that are coming in.
Yeah.
Give it a couple more moments to let everybody come in. What's up, Dabs? How you doing today, buddy? My life. Good morning.
I'm having a hard time reading, guys, without my glasses, so bear with me. I see you guys. Hi.
Good. If you need help, I can read it out for you too as well. I know it's a little hard during the daylight. See who else is coming on here. What's up, Wes? How you doing, buddy? What's up, Becky? Thank everybody for coming on this Monday morning. I know a lot of people got stuff going on with work, whatnot, so I'm glad you guys are here. Just give it a couple more moments. What's up, Julie? Or not Julie, but Jenny.
Everybody's just saying Julie. You're like, hey, Julie.
I was just thinking about you and said her name. Or said your name instead of the person I was reading. Thank everybody for the love that we've been getting so far. Keep on. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for the feedback we got from the interview I did with Real Chill Grass Friday night. I'll be a co-host on his channel tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. And Thursday, I'll have Hope from PPF. She'll be on Thursday night at 11. What's up, PP Master? What's up, Jay? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for sharing, man. So while we're getting started, I want you to introduce yourself to people who may not know you. I think everybody pretty much does, but anyways.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm Julie. And I don't know, I guess I've literally been in this community for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, like fully in it. It just is literally has meant so much to me, being a survivor and everything that I went through, to kind of put myself full force in it, you know what I mean? So I basically no intentions on going anywhere. So
that's cool. So what got you involved in the community?
So I forget whose videos I ever even seen first. I literally want to say it might have even been Pop Squad or maybe, I don't know. So I caught it by chance, and it was because I was doing like my therapy and stuff for I was raped again, like probably I think maybe 2 years. I think it was 2 years after I had graduated high school, or should have graduated. But and my therapist and I always used to like look up, just little things that like I could do to kind of put myself out there, help people. I've done, different types of groups and meetings, both NA, AA. They have like sexual assault survivors, and so I'd done groups and stuff like that and told my story there. And so I just was like completely dedicated and, getting myself out there, looking to see what else I can do to help. I told my story at this one meeting. It was an AA meeting, and they had like a lot of addicts actually went to AA because they were less stiff than NA, believe it or not. So um, I was there telling my story, and this lady was like in tears, and she approached me after, and she's like, "Hey, just wanted to thank you." She's like, "You saved me and my daughter, and I'm beyond words." And I was like, just stunned, you know. But her daughter decided to go get clean the next morning. She went into a program and got therapy for her abuse and stuff. So left her ex. Um, so it was like huge to me. It was like, wow, if I can, you know, make that much of an impact for even just that one person, you know, it was just a huge deal to me. So I decided I was going to see what else I could do and put myself out there to keep helping, you know?
That's awesome that you're being so aggressive, taking the things that happened to you that was any other person could have destroyed them, but you're being motivated by that and you're helping other people. That speaks volumes to you and your character and who you are. Um, do you want to discuss what exactly had happened to you, or you don't have
Sure.
to go detail
Um,
by detail if you
so,
don't want to, but
well, it was a lot, so I probably won't have time for detail. I have therapy at 10:30. But
you go.
when I was 12, um, when I was 12, my cousin and I used to sleep over at her house all the time, and my uncle had a best friend who lived literally across the street. And so we used to, like, you know, just spend the night there and hang out, you know. Well, one night, I mean, this guy was literally his best friend for, oh my God, since they were in school. And he broke into the house one night while me and my cousin were sleeping, and he molested us both. Like, he knew how to like work the hall light upstairs. So, like, you know, he made sure that was off. It was just really weird. Like, it seemed like he kind of was like planning on it, you know. Um, so he molested us both and like threatened us both. Like, you know, if we told, he would come back and kill us. Like, he was insane. He was very crazy. And the only reason why we even knew it was him was because he smoked Marlboros. It was weird.
Uh-huh.
But he smoked Marlboro Reds, and you could see the pack of cigarettes falling out of his top. He used to wear like these flannel, like those thick button up flannel, like jacket things. And so the cigarettes were coming out of the top pocket. He kept telling us the whole time he had a gun. After we found out it wasn't a gun, my cousin Tamara, and anyway, she ended up actually going to court against him. I didn't have the guts to do it, but I went to court with her, and I let her, you know, basically focus on me the entire time that Stevie was in court, um,
Uh-huh.
just so she felt a little stronger, you know. But
So she
so
took him
he's
to
still,
court.
um, yep,
Go
he's
ahead.
still actually locked up in Shirley, Mass. Yeah.
That's, I mean, that's
So
good
yeah,
that
my
he's
uncle
still
ship
alive.
almost jumped over the. Yeah, it was nerve wracking, you know, to even be
Yeah.
there and have to see him. You know, it makes you want to throw up, but I couldn't not be there either. She was strong enough to tell everybody in court, and I just couldn't do it. Like, when I get scared like that, like my skin burns. I don't know if that makes sense,
Hmm.
but like my
Yeah.
skin actually feels like it's burning because I'm just so nervous and scared. And I just didn't want to, like, you know, I couldn't stomach talking about it for the longest time. So she was able to do it. Um, it was kind of cool. The state troopers who came the next morning, there was a female state trooper, and she ended up entering us into this contest out of random that she found in the newspaper for that morning to win trips to Florida. Like, you get Disney tickets and Universal Studios. You just had to find your way there, basically. Well,
Hmm.
we surprisingly won. Found out like 2 weeks later. So we got to go to Florida for a week, and got to get into Disney and Universal. My uncle Chip rented a van and we drove up there. So um, we kind of looked at it as something came out of it,
Yeah.
really. But
Got
um,
to go to Disney World.
so
That's, I mean,
yeah,
that's
so that
good.
was like a huge deal. I was pretty reserved and guarded. Yeah.
So did
But yeah,
some,
I stayed pretty reserved and guarded after that for, huh?
I was gonna ask you, did anything tip you off to, I mean, did you get any indication that he might be doing up to something like that? Or was it just, it came out of the blue that he,
No, not a, not even a little bit. I mean, he was always like that. I don't even know how to describe it. Just seemed like, like an uncle type, just very close. Like he was always like, picking us up and like roughing around with us and stuff, but never was he inappropriate. He didn't seem like he was maybe ever trying to be inappropriate. He never made us feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. So it was really weird. And then the fact that he was best friends with my Uncle Chip since they were in school. I mean, and they were, God, probably like in their 40s at that point. So, they've known each other for a long time, So
Mhm.
I think it kind of like put our guard down too, a little, thinking, yeah, it's not somebody you have to worry about kind of thing. But I feel
He's
like back
family.
then, too, it's not like it is now. I
Yeah.
feel like now people are more guarded about that stuff. Um, but that's why I am like, thank God for this community and like trying to do things and save kids now and protect them from having to go through those kind of situations. I even teach my boys right now, like, and I did it with my girls at 3 and 4, like, it's your body, your choice. If you don't want to hug somebody, and I don't care if it's me, who it is, but you don't need to hug them. Like,
Yeah,
um, I just want them to always feel comfortable and safe that it's absolutely their choice, you know?
exactly. I
So,
am.
I'm very much like protective of that. I would murder somebody, you guys.
No, that's completely
Oh,
understandable, especially your situation. And you said your mother took him to court. Now, what took you? Um, was there a process that you had to confront him, or did you just? What emotions were you feeling during that time?
well,
That's pretty much what I asked.
uh, I, I literally I just remember feeling sick. I can't even say what other emotions. I will never forget sitting in the courtroom and I had to leave to go to the bathroom a few times. I had to throw up. I couldn't sit in there, and having to look at his face the entire time is disgusting.
Hmm. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's that's fine. We're here to help you out.
um, I ended up actually finally getting into therapy after and trying to like be able to open up a little bit more about it. I shut myself down so much. I was cutting myself all the time. I have scars on my arms from like using razor blades to just dig in my skin and
Um,
cut down just to like relieve the emotional pressure. Like it was just a lot easier to deal with the physical pain than the emotional pain.
mhm.
Sorry, guys.
No, no need to apologize. We're here for you. Don't apologize at all. You got this community that's supporting you in here.
Thank you,
JP
guys.
said it. I can say it any better myself. There's a special place in heaven for people like you. You're strong.
Oh,
That's
thank
an
you.
understatement. So don't feel the need to apologize. You said that
I
you,
appreciate that, you guys.
no, you're fine. Take all the time you need. Jay's supporting you.
But yeah, so I did therapy and I thought I was like gonna get past it and whatnot. And then in ninth grade, I stayed after to watch one of my friends play baseball. Like he had baseball practice. And I went into the cafeteria to get a snack. And my friend, she went to the bathroom, and these two brothers who they like I thought they were my friends, but apparently not. So they tried to hold me down on the cafeteria floor. And one of the brothers tried to stick his penis in my mouth while the other brother held me down. And it wasn't for my friend having to leave baseball practice to come in and use the bathroom, he probably would have gotten away with it. But they fought in the cafeteria. So that was like, I just felt like at that point, it's like, kind of like it was something with me, So I didn't even want to go to school. I switched schools. That's when I started going to Neshoba Tech. Um, and I thought I was good there. Um, and I this kid that was at the school. I'm sure Danny probably knows this situation. And it wasn't like it was that big of a deal, but it was. So we're in between changing classes, and he, there's like a stairwell like through the door, whatever, and he pushed me up against a brick wall and shoved his hands in my pants, and I just froze, like completely froze. It was almost as if like that's like my response, like didn't know what to do. So I just stood there. I didn't say much of anything. Um, and then I got my bags and I went to the office and I asked them to send me home. And I left school. I didn't graduate. I didn't want to go back to school. Um, so I didn't finish school. Um, over that, it's like just kind of got to the point where it was too much. You know what I mean?
No, I can imagine.
So it was pretty much when I started using. That was pretty much when I started like using. Like I got told I had like degenerative disc disease, um, in my back and a cancerous lump in my back, and my doctor prescribed me a shit ton of medication. I was on the Duragesic fentanyl patches. I was on 175 milligrams of those. I was getting 120. Sorry, there's a tow truck behind me. I was getting 120 of the Percocet and then 90 of the 80 milligram Oxycontins, and that was every month. I was also on Valium and Klonopin. Like I was on a lot. And it was more. I mean, first it was to help my pain, and then I just realized it was helping with the emotional pain as well. Like I didn't have to deal with anything at all.
Yeah.
I was just so numb that it was like I wanted to be that way all the time. I was just over all the shit I'd been through and had to deal with, and so I, was abusing the hell out of them. For years and years. I actually just now going to be 8 years clean on the 26th, from heroin and opiates. So it's been a really long, hard struggle and road, but I've slept under the bridge in Fitchburg, like shooting up with Mountain Dew just so I had something to shoot up my heroin if I didn't, I've used toilet water for God's sakes. I didn't care. It was bad. It was really bad. And all just because I had, slowed down on cutting and I needed to like stay numb. And, then it got to a point where it was like I wasn't really using to numb myself either. I was using so I wouldn't be sick, you know. Um, I started, when I was staying under the bridge. My oldest daughter's father, he was always in trouble and he was doing B&Es all the time and shit. So he was like, oh, this is how I, do what I need to do to get off E and not be sick. So we had one guy who would literally buy whatever. He would tell us a list of things he wanted us to get. And, I would go, we never did it at night. So it was never like a home invasion. I mean, it was bad, but I'd go knock at somebody's door, see if anybody's home. If they're not home, nobody answered, then we'd go in and break into that house and see if we could find the stuff that was on the guy's list, bring it to him, and he'd buy it. And he'd usually in the morning before he'd have us go out, he would give us like a bunch of perks or whatever, just like 2 or 3 a piece, so that way we could, not be sick while we were doing it, Um, but got to the point where like we were obviously getting followed by undercover cops and shit, and Sean used to just taunt them, if we weren't in the process of breaking into somebody's home, there wasn't anything that they could do, and I wasn't aware, I just had no idea he knew, so he'd get out of the car at gas stations and stuff and be like, what are you gonna do, like yelling, suck my, taunting them. I'm like, we're really gonna get in trouble now. And the next day actually we got arrested at a house, had the door open with this huge, I don't even remember if it was like a safe or just some big ass box, buddy. Had it in the doorway with the door wide open, and it's like a small area in Groton, so they like, it's a nice neighborhood. People know if something shady's going on there. So but yeah, so they came and I was asleep in the car at the time because I was withdrawing. So they went in the house and they were woken up by the cops banging at the window, and was like, oh, they're like, are you here by yourself? Well, I literally didn't even know where I was withdraw. Like couldn't I was looking around and I'm like, I literally don't even know. Last I knew we were at the house, but I obviously got in the car. You know what I mean? So I can't explain much to you.
Yeah.
And that he's like, puts me in the police car and he's like, how much time we wasted on you scumbag junk boxes. Like he went off. Like they were pissed. They followed us for like a month. There was like 2 or 3 undercovers that were, they followed us to the house, watched us in the house at night, where we were living. And so they had a lot of anger,
Wow.
Oh, you can. Thank you. So yeah, so it was, not a little deal, by any means. And I definitely spent time in jail for that. But because it was like my first real offense, like I wasn't in there for more than 3 months, which was good. I had bail, but we don't have money like that. You know what I mean? So the $2,500 was that was a lot of money for us to come up with, especially for my family. So I sat in there until, I had gotten a couple of checks in a row to like kind of help. My aunt put up money and then they bailed me out. I obviously continued to go to court and had to do supervised probation. So I had to do like color coded drug screening. So yeah, that wasn't fun because at the time I wasn't even fully ready to get clean. So, I was trying to use when I could without worrying about getting in trouble. I would wait until the day that I my color would be called and I piss clean for them and then go right home and get high, Um, like it was hectic, really overwhelming. I'm just like, thank God I'm not that person anymore. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm able to sit outside at my freaking house and be, comfortable and not feel like I have to look around worrying about whether the cops are watching me or, I dropped talking to a lot of people. I literally keep my circle small, half for drugs and half for trust. Like I just, you
Yeah.
come to the realization that either, people literally either are only there if it's for their benefit. You know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
when you're getting high, they want to be around you because they know you have it. You know what I mean? You're willing to make sure they're all right,
You got what they want.
but if you're not, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's not really, it's not more that like, oh, I'm actually your friend. I'm here for you. There are very, very select few people that I even knew then that I hear even message me periodically to say, hey, how are you? Just wanted to see if you're good.
Hmm.
Um, I changed my cell phone number and I like dropped a lot of people on Facebook over it, was necessary to actually commit to being clean and focusing on my recovery and getting those emotions back that like I had lost over, the rapes and being molested and everything. It just takes a toll on you emotionally and physically.
So how are you doing now? Now that you've on the other
Oh,
side and you're recovered, 9 years, I believe you said. Congratulations, by the way. How are you
thank
doing
you.
right now?
I am good. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say it's not, sometimes it can be a struggle, but the it's way more worth it to be on this side of things.
Mhm.
Helping law enforcement and not being nervous and being able to feel my emotions when I'm going through something and um just like I don't like all the work that I put in to get here, like thinking about like now I've left my ex, I'm in my own apartment, I've my kids are all with me, like just it's been a long road and was not easy by any means, but it is so worth it. So worth it.
Mhm.
It just feels so much better, you just your entire body just it feels different. Your mindset is different.
Mhm.
Um so it's definitely takes a little bit of getting used to when you're used to living that way for like, almost like 15 years. So it's like
So
hard, but it's
what was the
absolutely way more worth it to be over on this side.
what was the process? I mean, I know you probably had to go to
It's what?
therapy. I said, what was the process? I mean, you're 8, 9 years clean. What was that process during that time? Did you have to go to therapy? Did you talk to counselors or people that you trusted just to help get you to where you're at right now?
Yeah. Yeah. So I first time I tried because I my first time I ended up relapsing. And then that was when I got in trouble and got arrested and stuff. I did the methadone clinic then. And then, but I wasn't like doing like full on therapy, for anything to do with recovery, just when I had to go to the clinic. My therapist, I always kept, talking about, the sexual assault situation. I was in, I did a residential treatment program in Tewksbury. And I was there for 13 months, so a year and a month. And I lived there, you'd have chores, specific people do, like, you have to cook or mop, and it's a house with like 9 other women and their children in it. So I lived there, and I graduated from that. It was like 2010. I graduated from that program, and then, like I said, I obviously had done the relapse and gotten in trouble. And I honestly thought I wasn't, I thought I was like situated after going to that program because, you're there for so long. But I think it was half being there for so long that I was like, ooh, the freedom, like I'm, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I, left out of there, and I ended up, probably maybe even 3 weeks later, just getting high again. So then after I went to jail and I had to kick heroin and opiates in jail, that was not a good time by any means. They don't really care. You're literally on a cot with, like, 12 other people who are dope sick, and, everybody's kicking their legs around and sweating. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So I just kept thinking to myself, like, especially like at chow time, like, you have to go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a certain time, like certain cell blocks get to go at a certain time, and you go in there and you're in line and stuff. It's like, not just how gross the food is, but like in general, like I used to have to sneak bananas in my fucking bra to bring them back to my cell. So, the first 2 weeks you're not allowed to have canteen. It takes
Yeah.
time before, they will let you get canteen. So I, had nothing in there. And I was fighting with people all the time, just trying to make sure nobody tried to get one over on me. I don't want people to think I was, somebody easy that they could just be like, oh, that's my seat. No, bitch, your name's not on it. It's mine,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will never forget that one fight. They made me go to, they made me go to SEG to, I had my ankle cuffs on, and my hands were shackled to my ankles or whatever with the waist and stuff. And they put you in this Hannibal Lecter mask. Like you literally look like Hannibal Lecter.
Terrible.
Like I'm like, oh my God. So in my head, I'm like, all these people are probably looking at me thinking I probably just bit somebody's face off or something, over a fight because I jumped over the chair and beat up some girl, and she ended up in the infirmary. So they I had to stay in solitary, for a week, which was not fun. But it's like those experiences were like, I literally just, it's not something I want to go through ever again. Some people are,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to jail and prison, some people are what they call lifers, and some people just, that one time is all it takes.
Yeah.
But I do therapy still. I've been with the same therapist for the last 4 years, which has helped a lot. Um, I'm on my Suboxone. I went on the Suboxone solely because my ex, I actually had found needles in his drawer, and instead of getting high, I, called my therapist and my DCF worker and was like, it was a trigger. It was absolutely a trigger for me to see them. And so she's like, you're gonna have to just do the Suboxone route, to make sure that we look out for that whole piece of it instead of, you know what I mean, having to worry about
Mhm.
you having an actual relapse. Um, so I did that. I have been on the Suboxone for the last 2 years, working on getting off of it now, so I don't have to be on it anymore. I'm just like done with having it, but that is what it is. So,
It
but
sounds
it's
like it's
like
been a long
it's kept
road.
me in my recovery, around. Yes,
It sounds
absolutely.
like it
Long
sounds like it's been
road
a
is an
long road.
understatement.
Yeah, but you're came a long ways in just that short time of period or short period of time. What would you say to the people that would have been in the situation that
Yes.
you're in or that you were in?
Yep. Hmm. Absolutely. It definitely feels a hell of a lot better. Like just like I said, it's like being able to actually like take in a breath of air and not feel that worry. Um, for anything, really. I mean, I know how to protect myself. So I'm like, now I'm at the point where like I'm not angry about it. Yeah, the stuff that happened to me bothers me, but if somebody tried to come up on me now, they'd have a problem.
Mhm.
So I'm a little bit different of a person, but I also have a lot of restraint. I don't just go around beating people up like I used to.
And looks like we're having a little technical difficulties. Bear with me one moment. Thank you guys for all the feedback. Let me see if she get it back.
What the hell? All of a sudden it clicked out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Give me 1 second. All right. I
Okay.
got you.
All right.
You're back. So what were you saying?
Okay.
You still there? Bear with us one moment.
Um, but I was just saying, like, people are like, you're still the same, like, I'm violent, I guess, but it's like my protective layer, I guess, if you want to call it. But I don't know. I feel like now I'm not worried like I was. Like, I'm not worried about, hiding from cops. I'm not worried about getting high. I'm not worried about, somebody attacking me. I'm more worried about somebody who tries to attack me, is really how it is, I guess now.
Mhm.
Um, it's just such a completely different feeling.
It's so liberating knowing that you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to live life in fear, pretty much.
Absolutely.
What would you say to somebody
Absolutely.
that might be in your shoes? That's that person that was you 9 years ago. What would you say to that person?
Uh, um, talk about it. Talk. Whatever you have going on. I feel like literally talking and walking is ultimately what saved my life. If I wasn't talking to people, to a therapist, like getting my story out there, you know, explaining how I was feeling to get through that one moment, walking just to breathe, just, a moment of peace for myself, like that's my way of having a whole woosah moment. I say it to
Mhm.
Jay all the time. Just woosah, buddy, woosah, because it's just it makes you think. You know what I mean? You have that moment to get out of your head, and so you're not beating yourself up over whatever the situation is, and making it harder for yourself. I would absolutely tell people talking and walking is what you need to do to keep yourself sane and safe.
Mhm.
It's not going to be easy, and most of the time people will genuinely feel sick, and it's you're gonna cry and you're gonna be angry and you're gonna be sad, but the fact of like having those emotions and being able to go through them is so much more worth it than to not and continue to let
You still there?
them build up, and because the eventual breakdown from so much when it comes for so much more by stuff it did opening up.
Mhm. It's always good to get. She lost. Give me 1 second. You guys continue to like the stream, and there we go. You're good. No worries.
Um, but yeah, I would absolutely say stuffing is probably the worst thing you can do for yourself in any of those situations, whether it be recovery or something you're going through emotionally is not because I am that type of person, I am a stuffer. It wholeheartedly makes it way more difficult. It had forced me to do all the cutting, and I beat myself up emotionally quite a bit.
Mm,
Um, I mean, I had even been in the psych hospital for cutting because I cut so bad. It was so deep, and I didn't say anything to anybody because I didn't want anybody to know. So it's just bleeding through long sleeve shirts and stuff. It was tough, but I did really, really well, and finally, like came out on the other side. So I would
yeah.
absolutely suggest to anybody, that has to deal with recovery or, sexual abuse, any trauma, just talk. Always talk about it to somebody you can trust, somebody you can, feel safe with, any sense of security, just let it out, You
Yeah.
never know, too. I mean, you meet the weirdest people in the weirdest places and they turn out to be the best people. I have a friend I literally met through the program, the residential program that I still talk to, and they were really amazing. But they all have still stuck by me and talk to me all the time, so I'm like grateful for that. You know,
Yeah. Somebody used to tell me a long time ago, you never know who your next best friend will be.
that
Uh,
is,
You, you don't never know. I mean, you never know what life takes you. So,
yeah,
like you said, it's good to open up and not let the stuff bottle up and harm yourself even worse. Because
right,
you're giving more power to the abuser by
exactly.
shutting up and not being vocal about what happened to you.
Yep.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
Oh, I am honestly like right now, my main focus is just trying to get through. But I'm hoping honestly that like we'll be in a house, eventually, not an apartment. And um I mean, I haven't really like relationships isn't a thing for me, which my like I said, my focus has been on my kids and things that I do on a day-to-day basis,
Mhm.
to I just don't, focus on relationships. I don't. Um, so I guess ultimately, as long as I'm still clean and I, you know, have a stable, safe place for my kids, I'm cool with the rest of it. I
Yeah.
can get through with the rest of it. You know what I mean? So,
Well, thank you for your time. You're a strong woman. People are
thank you.
showing you love. Can people reach you out in case they need to get in touch with you? That might be able.
Um, Either Instagram or Facebook. I have both. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I have both Instagram and Facebook. Um, so I mean, anybody if they want to talk or anything by any means, you can message me on either or. And I'll always give somebody my number if they need it.
Mhm.
Without a doubt. So.
And if there's any questions for Julie, give it a moment. I know she's got a therapy at 10:30, so I'll be respectful of her time. So if there's any questions for her while we're trying to wrap things up, did anything happen to the teenagers that had raped you? That's one thing I was going to ask you earlier on, but
No, I never talked about that. Like just to my therapist and stuff. The one from Neshoba Tech, when I switched schools, I started to, but then I just kept getting harassed. Like whether it be in the bathrooms or whatever. One of the girls I was going to school with was pregnant with his kid, and it's like, would constantly throw it in my face, like, how do you feel knowing that you're about to make this kid grow up without his father, or whatever, things that
Mhm.
just like would eat away at me. And after I told the victim witness advocate I was done. I just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And then I quit school. And so she was like, you're more than welcome to, speak to me anytime if you just want to talk. She, obviously can't force you to, you know, proceed with charges or anything. So there's only so much you can do if the person isn't willing to speak, but uh, it becomes hard. And watching my cousin go through her trial and stuff, like,
Mhm.
you know what you have to endure, and it is a lot, and it takes a strong person to do that. And if it was me now, yeah, I absolutely would speak up. But I guess at that point I hadn't really built my full on character yet, and um, my skills to, like, get me through certain situations and stuff. So that's what I am hoping to do by telling my story whenever possible, is by bringing, thank you, creeps.
Shout
Um,
out to FM.
yeah. um, but yeah, so just like, trying to help other people to, like, get skills to be able to actually, open up and not feel stuck and feel like they don't have that choice to speak up.
Mhm.
That's a big deal for me, and that's
That's that
my
speaks.
goal.
Like I said, that speaks volumes of you, that you're being proactive and you're giving that voice to the voiceless, as I like to say. That you're helping other people that were in your situation, and turning things around. I'm proud of you. I expect great things from you.
Thank
Like I
you.
said, you're a strong woman. Strong doesn't even begin to describe you. So I appreciate you for coming on, for your time. Is there any last words that you want to say while we wrap things up? Or
No, but if anybody needs me or needs to chat, you know where to find me.
all right, well, thank you for your time. I know you got
Yeah.
therapy in a few minutes, so I want you to have time to prepare for that. Much love
Thanks.
to you. I'm here for you. The community is here for you as a whole.
I
We
appreciate you
got you.
guys.
So
I
much love.
appreciate you all. Thank you, you guys.
No problem.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
All right, see you. Thank you guys for that being here for that interview. She's a strong woman, strong to begin to describe her. Thank you guys for showing her some love. Continue um, commenting and sharing this so we can get the word out about her sharing her story this morning. I want to thank everybody. Becca, Yee, thank you for coming on. Thank you, Twist. No problem, man. See who else came in here. What's up, Jess? Good to have you in here. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you guys for all the love. Like I said earlier on, tomorrow I'll be on Real Chill Graz's podcast. I'll be co-hosting with him. We'll be interviewing somebody that has a story to tell. Jody Poche, that's his name. He's got a book out about his story, and I'm be interviewing with him. And then Tuesday or Thursday night, I'll be with PPF of Hope. She's got a story. She's gonna come on at 11 o'clock on Thursday night, so be looking out for that. And thank you guys for everybody, and thank you everybody for coming on. Much love, everybody. You guys have a good day.